Miles Feiner, the son of a priest, now runs a podcast, The Millennial Prophet, about his atheism. He receives a Facebook friend request from God. Is God on Facebook? Although he suspects it is a hoax, he nevertheless follows up on the first suggested friend sent by God.
Who's John Dove?
Casey, wait, please. Whoa.
He saves the man's life when he tries to commit suicide by jumping in front of a subway train.
I know it's not God. I don't believe in God. But I'm determined to figure out who's behind this.
He meets his second suggested friend, Kara, an online writer with writer's block. When Miles's computer malfunctions at his home, Kara sees her long-missing mother in a picture of Miles with his family at the hospital. Miles convinces Kara to see her mother. When Kara finds out her mother has another daughter, she runs into the street in shock and is hit by a car. A doctor emerges from a taxi several cars back to save Kara's life. The doctor is the man Miles saved earlier in the subway. As Miles prepares for his first national podcast about atheism, he gets another friend request from the God account that leads him to help a single mother connect with her autistic son. Kara gets closer to her estranged mother, while Ali convinces her father to support Miles and congratulate him on his podcast's success. Miles disagrees with his new producer, who wants a one-sided presentation about atheism. Miles instead wants his show to be more of an open conversation. Due to the change in tone, Miles's podcast loses over half its audience. Meanwhile, Rakesh is disappointed to see his new love interest Jaya on a date with another guy. But it turns out the date had been scheduled before Jaya met Rakesh, and she is only interested in dating him. The God account sends Miles a place recommendation for a taco truck instead of a friend suggestion. While Miles is there, a boy steals his wallet. Miles and Kara hire Ray, an ex-police officer and private investigator, to find the boy. It turns out the boy, Isaac, is living on his own, with his mother absent, and that Ray's deceased wife was Isaac's social worker. Both Isaac and Ray are lost without her, and in the end Ray takes in Isaac as a foster child. Miles is excited that Rakesh is close to cracking the God account's firewall when all the computers at their work crash with an error code of 1.61, which is an approximation of the Fibonacci ratio.
Means, I think it's fair to say that error code 1.61 is a message from God.
This leads Miles, Kara, Rakesh and Jaya to the Hayden Planetarium looking for answers. Miles and Kara find Fliss, a woman from a small town who is in New York looking for her lost love based on a list of locations he gave her when they were at camp together. Rakesh and Jaya find Beaker, a staff member at the planetarium who is looking for a lost star using software that Rakesh recognizes as being associated with the God account. It turns out that Beaker is Fliss's lost love. He's gay, so they won't be romantic, but Fliss decides she will move to New York anyway to restart her life and be Beaker's friend. At the same time, Arthur takes his damaged saxophone to a repair shop to fix and donate. It was damaged in the car accident that killed Miles's mother, and Arthur hasn't played since. Miles retrieves the repaired saxophone and he and Ali tell their father that their mother wouldn't want him to stop playing. The God account sends Miles a friend recommendation for Rachel, but he decides to do nothing about it, and the God account disappears.
Miles, what the hell is going on?
I don't know. But the God account is gone.
Prodded by Rakesh and Kara, Miles investigates and learns that Rachel is an alcoholic artist whose sister died in a car accident they were in several weeks earlier. They were fighting at the time, and Rachel believes nothing can fix the fact that her sister hated her at the moment of her death. Miles finds the man credited with pulling Rachel from the car before it exploded, and learns that the man was just a bystander. In fact, Rachel's sister pulled her from the car, and died going back for her cell phone to call 911. Miles tells Rachel that her sister obviously loved her, and Rachel finds peace and strives to become sober. Meanwhile, Rakesh finds out Jaya has a medical fellowship that will take her away from New York for up to a year. He reacts badly at first, but on Ali's advice, throws Jaya a congratulations party and tells her he is happy for her. After talking with his father, Miles comes to terms with the idea that he might have a calling to do good in the world, and the God account reappears. He sends it a friend request, and it accepts.
There are moments in life where your beliefs are challenged. And sure, it may not be exactly what you set out to do, but it's the way you respond that matters.
As he is hailing a cab, Miles gets a friend suggestion for Hassan, who turns out to be the cab driver. Later, Miles learns that Hassan's daughter Tara has fallen in love with David, a devout Jew she is planning to marry without Hassan's, or David's parents, knowledge or consent. Hassan confronts Tara and David, and Miles, at the courthouse just before their marriage. Miles tries to reason with Hassan, but fails, and Tara reluctantly leaves with her father. At a loss, Miles consults with his father, who explains how a child losing faith can feel to a parent like losing them altogether. Meanwhile, Rakesh breaks the God account's encryption with Kara's help, and they learn about a particular train leaving Grand Central Station later that night. Hassan confronts Miles at his uncle's 25th wedding anniversary party because Tara has run away. Miles realizes that the train isn't the location of whoever is behind the God account, but of David and Tara. Miles reasons with Hassan using what his father said, and at the train station Hassan reconciles with Tara. At the end, Miles learns that Hassan was the driver of the cab the doctor got out of to save Kara's life in episode 1.
You see, Miles, you may not believe in God, but God believes in you. Think about it.
Miles is forced to face uncomfortable truths about his family when the God account points him towards his uncle Terence. Also, Kara's father pays her a visit, and he discovers that she's reconnected with her mom who left them when she was a child. Rather than a person, the God account sends Miles a fan page of a chess legend who vanished 10 years ago. Miles must find out what happened to the man behind the legend with the help of a private investigator, hired by the legend's last opponent before he vanished, who Miles had helped out in a previous episode. Meanwhile, Arthur is having problems with the God account, feeling Miles is using it as fodder for ratings on his podcast. The God account gives Miles a suggestion for a member of his father's church who's had a recent tragedy. Meanwhile, Rakesh and Kara get another step closer to finding Falcon, and Miles and his father reach a new place in their relationship,